Shortest break of all time. Welcome back, guys, to the WCS Europe Challenger League. My name's Kyle Aris alongside Targa once again, as we now have our PvP coming up between MC and Welmu. And these guys have both got really good records in PvP. You have people like MC, who's sitting, well, technically during Heart of the Swarm, it's right 50-50. But for Welmu, he's sitting around something like a 78% win ratio in PvP during Heart of the Swarm. So MC's going to have a hard time here, I think.
Yeah, and another really important thing to mention, MC is not in Europe. He's playing from Korea.
Oh, is he back in Korea now? Ah, all right. I thought he was still here because he was here during the entirety of the... How do you know this?
I think Race, SK Race, he tweeted about it, and Carmack just told me as well.
All right then. Well, we'll jump into our first game here, guys, between Mr. MC and what in the and where did you get that picture? All right. Okay then. I didn't expect that. Okay, so we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner, apparently the most cheerful Finnish player of all time. He goes by the name of Welmu. Oh my god. And spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our red Protoss. He goes by the name of SKMC. Our producer was so happy with that picture. He was like dancing around in his chair. Oh god. All right, take it away, Mr. Targa.
Yeah, so I don't think that the lag is too bad from Korea to here. Because when I played a few of the Koreans in the WCS qualifier, their force fields were spot on, and it didn't look like they were lagging. So I don't think it's too much of an advantage for Welmu. I mean, it's a small advantage, but nothing that's gonna win in the game without even playing.
Well, the thing is that for MC, his PvP in my mind has never really been his strong suit. He's lost championships over his PvP. He's lost to Grubby many a time over his PvP. Just all of these little things really add up, and the fact that we have statistical evidence to say that he doesn't really win that many PvPs here in Heart of the Swarm, this could definitely be an upset. Welmu could definitely take this series because his PvP. European PvP has always been pretty darn strong.
Yeah, and I think Welmu is probably one of the strongest Protosses in Europe at the moment. I think he's on level with Grubby and the top Protoss players. He's a bit unknown for most fans of StarCraft, I think, because he's not a guy that makes a lot of noise. He doesn't trash talk people. He's always mannered and smiling.
Yeah.
And also he represents a small Romanian team, Neurosoft Gaming, and I believe he's their absolute star player.
Yeah. I'm actually impressed at how the roster of Neurosoft and how it's been shaping up as of late. They've got a pretty good roster going. They've actually recently, during not only the Premier but also the Challenger qualifiers, their players were representing in full force. I think Kras is also on the team as well, right?
Kras, Welmu, Kaup, I think.
White.
And then they have one more Ukrainian Zerg, I think, as well.
I
don't know if it's Ukraine Zerg.
Was Underdark on that team for a while?
Probably.
Yeah.
He's been on a ton of teams.
He's been on every team, man. Yeah. Well, we have both players going for what looks like the same opening here. Twilight Council abound for both players. And do you reckon we're going to see Blink versus Blink?
Well, it looks like Welmu is going for Blink at least, because he made the third gate, and MC hasn't made the third gate yet. Also, another thing, MC was mining with 3 in both gases earlier than Welmu was. So Welmu was doing a more mineral greedy build, and MC really wants to keep his gas. And here you can see why. There's a Dark Shrine being built for MC.
Yeah, but at the same time, Welmu just spotted that with his Mothership core. He didn't see the Dark Shrine, sorry, he saw the Twilight Council. So that could tip him off and could give him the opportunity to now construct a robo facility and make sure that he'd be sturdy against that. Mothership core for MC is going to come in as well. See that Twilight Council whirring away, so he knows Blink is on the way. So both know players, well, MC has a good idea what his opponent's doing. Welmu kind of, maybe, sort of.
Welmu should know what his opponent is doing.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't pay that closely attention to MC, so I'm not sure if he actually started his Blink or chronoed his Twilight Council to trick Welmu. Because that might be a reason why Welmu is not making a Robo.
I don't think he did either.
Okay. Okay, if that's the case, then it's very weird that Welmu hasn't started a Robo yet.
Yeah.
Or made a Forge to get a cannon or something. Because he's going to be aggressive now with his Blink. But I think that DTs are better than Blinkstalkers when there's no detection.
You're right. They're just going to end the game. There's not really a whole lot you can do about it. Unless, for example, Welmu has enough money to then construct a Robo facility over the other side of the map. Because you can't get one up and
he's
running
making
at home.
one. He's making one.
But it's going to be too late.
Yeah, there are already 2 DTs on the way. Can Welmu do enough damage in order to like equalize the damage that's going to be dealt right now?
Oh, but there's one DT already here trying to whack away at those Stalkers as well on the low ground. MC's going to push that away, and the 2 Dark Templars are just going to get into the main. The Sentry's warped in for Welmu, but it's so late. And those DTs are just going to have an absolute field day.
But Welmu is killing all of MC's units that can be killed. So I think Welmu might do some damage to MC's mineral line as well. But it's not looking too good for Welmu right now.
Ah, he's losing so many probes. He's already lost 17. MC here with these DTs doing a very good job here. He needs to try and somehow force field out these DTs from hitting this Robo facility because it's going to die.
He doesn't have a force field. No force field.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to help Welmu. And that's GG. There you go. Game number 1 ends pretty quickly.
Why did Welmu make the Robo so late? Like, he must have known that something was going on.
I don't know, because I was watching the Mothership core as it was killing probes for Welmu and seeing it kind of sweep down a little bit further to see the Twilight Council. I don't think I didn't see a Chrono Boost. I didn't see him start Blink or anything like that. So Welmu's, I don't know, just kind of an off game for Welmu there.
Hopefully he does better next game. I mean, this is like one of those coin flippy builds that MC did.
Yeah.
This has to do damage. If Welmu recognized what was going on and made a Robo, then he would have won the game. Just as easy as MC did right now.
Yeah, well, that is going to do it for game number 1. MC taking that very, very quick lead. And game number 2 is on, I don't know, my lobby isn't letting me, allowing me to
Daybreak.
enter. You're in already?
Yeah, and Daybreak is a really big map for PvP. So maybe we'll get to see some lasers late game.
Lasers.
Yeah, a ton of lasers shooting at each other. Because, well, I think that it's still the normal thing to do in PvP late game, making a ton of Colossus. Yep. I know that some players like to go for like an Archon Tempest build with High Templars and so on. But I still think that Colossus is the best thing to do.
There was a build that we saw Baby Knight use during the WCS Europe Premier League, which was 2 base Tempest. Which worked so well against the standard. If I had to guess, maybe it was Grubby.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, it must have been, because he was the only Protoss that he actually eliminated during WCS Premier. But it worked so well. It was a really, really strong, solid build against a player that just plays the standard PvP. So that's an option as well. And it was on Daybreak, in fact, now that I remember. So scary stuff. But I don't think we'll get there.
Well, now I'm hoping I get to see that build.
Oh, it was cool, man.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it was nice to watch. So, Daybreak is our map. Good to go here for game number 2. Welmu, it really did feel like he was on tilt that game. He needs to kind of consolidate everything he has in himself, and if he'd have just reacted that little different, probably would have beaten MC quite handily. Yeah.
Or he can throw another coin, or do the same build again and hope that MC is not doing this. I mean, it's both of them were doing aggressive builds, so I would expect aggressive builds again. I really doubt that MC was going to do a passive build. Also, if you go late game, it's a bit better for Welmu, of course, with not having that much of a delay when you're controlling your late game units. I don't think it matters. I mean, it matters a lot late game. It also matters a lot early game. But if you're doing like this gimmicky, cheesy builds, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Because it's more about like hoping that your opponent is doing something different.
Well, we'll see. Going into game number 2 now on Daybreak, as we have MC and happy, cheerful Welmu with his little trophy. Going into game number 2, as we have spawning up to the top right as our blue Protoss, currently 1 game down. He goes by the name of Welmu. And spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner as our red Protoss, he goes by the name of SKMC. And the thing is, Targa, it's a scary thought. If MC now, just today, qualifies for Premier League, then having MC as well as MVP in Premier League in Season 2 is a very, very intimidating prospect. Because MC, despite not being at the exact heights he used to be, is still very dangerous.
Well, I can mention an interesting thing. Both MC and MVP were in Europe for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
MVP's stats on the ladder was something ridiculous, like 100 wins, 10 losses.
Right.
MC's stats on the ladder was like 80 to 60 or something. So he was losing to quite a lot of European players. Now, I would assume that he wasn't playing too seriously, because I played him on ladder, and against me he tried forgating, which is not something, even though he's a better player than me, it's never going to work.
Yeah.
And he has to be incredibly lucky for something that like that to work. But I still think that MVP is a much better player than MC at the moment. And MC is an awesome player. But if he was European, I wouldn't call him a top 5 European. I would maybe put him in the top 16 if he's having a good day.
Well, that is pretty interesting. I'm surprised that MC's stats were a little bit lower than that. But again, if he wasn't playing as seriously, then that could be something that I would attribute to that. But for now here, we do have that second gateway on the way here for Welmu, so would not be surprised in the slightest if he stuck to a very, very similar build from game number 1. Meanwhile, MC also adding on his second gateway as well. So neither player wants to get caught with the pants down, wants a lot of Stalkers out to kick things off here on Daybreak.
And they're also being very similar in terms of the gas and the minerals. MC put his 6th probe in the gas a bit earlier than Welmu. I'm not sure if that's going to matter too much. It doesn't look like MC wants to go for a... well, I'm not sure at the moment, but I don't think he's going to go for a DT again. Because last game he was a lot earlier with the gases.
And with that now, Welmu here, just placing himself pylon in the back as well. Probably going to throw down some tech over there as the standard place that we would see Welmu actually go for that. As he's getting his Mothership Core rallied on out now to his initial Stalker. So he has the opportunity to poke around. His Stalkers are actually a lot quicker here than MC's.
And both players are chronoing out their gateway tech. And this is quite interesting.
Yeah, I think that, you know, well, MC's already placing a pylon so he can warp in at the top of his ramp, so he's playing a little bit more defensively than Welmu would be, as he's trying to cruise across the map. But MC did just scout out 3 gates. Didn't see a chrono boost on warp gate or anything like that, but he should be accounting for that, and he's going to go Robo Facility. Wow.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This has all the hallmarks of a game that can play out to a little bit longer than 1 base versus 1 base, which is nice.
Yeah.
And for now, Welmu just setting himself up an aggressive pylon. You have a few more Stalkers on the way here. So Welmu's going to do probably a very, very light contain to kick things off whilst trying to expand behind it, I should think. And meanwhile, MC, well, he does have options. Technically, he could just get really aggressive if he's contained for a prolonged period of time, but ooh, doesn't want to get sealed in here on this. Wait a minute.
Oh.
That's a lot of Stalkers.
Yeah, it is.
And he even saves that Mothership Core as well there, trying to micro on back where he can. That Time Warp really slowing down the Stalkers of MC, so he knows he really can't retreat here. Welmu, Photon Overcharge just coming in to try and save MC, but that was a little bit late. He lost a few probes during all of this.
Yeah, but most importantly, he lost 2 sentries and 3 Stalkers.
Yeah.
Now he's going to get out an Immortal, and I think that he might be able to stop this, especially with the Nexus Cannon. But, I mean, Welmu, if he expands behind this, then he has done sufficient damage.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This is so worth it.
Hugely worth it, indeed. I mean, he has that Immortal out now. He's going to try and push these units away here, but he's going to focus down on that Immortal where he can with these Stalkers. He doesn't care about the Nexus Cannon. He knows if he can kill that Immortal off, he's going to have significantly less firepower, along with the more Stalkers that are coming in. But he did lose the Mothership Core, which is a bit of a hindrance.
Yeah, and also a few Stalkers. So I'm not sure if that was actually worth it. Maybe he should have gone back before. Because right now, Welmu is only warping in Stalkers, and it looks like he wants to end the game.
Yeah, with that Photon Overcharge now gone from that Nexus, this is a pristine time for Welmu to actually push on in here, get a few probe kills at least, and then maybe try and go for those Stalker kills, which are also important. More Stalkers come along here, and Welmu taking a significant supply advantage right now to just try and push MC back in game number 2. And I have to take back what I said about all the hallmarks of being a longer game.
Yeah, but now MC has a couple of Stalkers and an Immortal. I think he should be able to stop this temporarily. And it looks like Welmu wants to put up a contain. Maybe he should go for a Nexus now, an expand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and that's what he's doing.
Yep. It's the perfect opportunity to right now. How many workers has he actually killed off? He's killed off 9, so it's 26 to 19. And once that second Nexus gets up and running, MC is going to have such a difficult time catching up in terms of economy that it's probably at this point, the only option MC really has is gather up a strong force and go for that one base all-in somehow, but I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, maybe he could do some Warp Prism play or something. Like, he can't really move out of his base at the moment, since he won't have any units to break the force field. So it's going to be hard for him to do any damage. I mean, he doesn't even have any proxy pylons out. He doesn't even have any probes out on the map. So he needs a Warp Prism if he wants to do damage.
Yeah, he does. He needs to find some other route other than straight out of his base. But that being said, Welmu has now moved away from the ramp and has given up the contain as he's content with having that Nexus up and running. And MC, well, he's going to try and poke down there and realizes that his opponent isn't there. So all is good for him. Should be okay.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like MC wants to take a Nexus and see if he can make a comeback in a long macro game. Welmu just made a hallucinated Phoenix, so he scouted everything. He saw that there were only 2 gates in a robotics bay, and it doesn't look like MC will try to make a go for this. I mean, he's still making probes, so I would imagine that he wants to make a Nexus and then try to play a bit passive and hope that Welmu either screws up or that MC pulls an amazing comeback with an amazing player or something like that.
Well, interestingly, to your point here, Welmu's probe production hasn't been as aggressive as I assumed it would be behind that little light container he was doing. He's only at 32 workers to 27, despite having the capacity to produce 2 probes at any given time. So Welmu's economy is not looking as flourishing as I thought it was going to be, and it looks as if he wants to settle for a 3rd base, maybe.
I think that will be a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said earlier, he saw that there were only 2 gates on a robo. MC can't push with 2 gates on a robo. He won't have enough units, and Welmu is already ahead in terms of units. Oh, Welmu is also making a robotics bay, and both players are. So they're similar in terms of tech, but Welmu is ahead in supply right now, ahead in economy. So. I can't really think of anything that MC can do right now to get back in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. He would have to take huge risks.
Yeah, he has to cut corners.
Yeah, massive, massive corners. I mean, one corner that I can possibly think of would just be try and hide a base somewhere, but even that is absolutely and utterly insane. So MC's still down in terms of supply. Everything's been scouted out. He saw the probe transfer over to the Nexus, so Welmu knows exactly where his opponent is in terms of his income. And with that now, he's going to have a very, very easy time in terms of trying to exploit that, whichever way opportunity he takes.
And right now, Welmu is making a Warp Prism, so I can imagine that he's going to do some Immortal drops or something. He should be able to do some damage if that's what he wants to go for. MC, on the other hand, he already started his Colossus production. He's not upgrading the range yet. So maybe he wants to make a go with like 1 or 2 Colossus and then hope that Welmu is not paying attention to when he moves out.
And he does also get a good scout off of his opponent's entire base. So, well, technically both players have got a good scout off of their entire bases, but actually I wonder if that Warp Prism was spotted by that hallucinated Phoenix down at the bottom. It was?
Yeah.
Right, okay then. So technically he can set up a defense.
Yeah, and he's already pulling Stalkers back into his base. Or he's not.
It was just for the hallucination.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Another hallucination here for Welmu, just trying to spot everything he can do. He knows his opponent's Colossus count. And I guess he's just going to try and draw him to the front and then just poke in with the Warp Prison at the back and just really kind of distract MC as much as he possibly can do. A very, very good tactic. He's shooting the rocks. He doesn't want to shoot the rocks. We've learned about that from GSL. And we'll have to lose a few Stalkers.
Yeah, I actually think that MC can hold this. The question is, can he hold Zealots in his main base? 3 Zealots, they will do a ton of damage. So MC, oh, he pulls everything. This is Welmu's cue to move in with the rest of his army.
I can't believe he pulled everything. That's kind of catastrophic.
This was not a smart decision by MC.
Oh, no, but at the same time...
Nexus Cannon pushes it away, so it's actually fine. And now if you look at the supply, they're kind of even. MC is still on the back foot, but he's getting back in there.
The army compositions are pretty similar as well. Of course, there's a few more Zealots out for Welmu than there are for MC, but still, with the defensive posture and the photon overcharge, that can be a huge difference for MC. So he's going to hold tight on these 2 bases, but I don't think he's going to be able to expand to his 3rd base anytime soon, which is something that Welmu now is exploiting to his fullest extent.
Yeah, and MC actually made a 2nd robo. So he's gonna be making a ton of Colossus.
What did I tell you, man? Where are those Tempests? Come on.
But he doesn't have a 3rd base, and Welmu's 3rd base is about to be finished.
Yeah, that's really, really going to help out Welmu here, our Finnish representative. As right now he's getting his Templar Archives as well. So just a little bit ahead in terms of steps of MC, as he's only getting his Twilight Council now, which in turn is going to allow Welmu to really get out a lot of Archons, and from that point on, they tank a lot of damage from those Colossi, and can really mess up their output of damage in general if you're able to position your Archons properly. So scary stuff here right now for MC.
Yeah. And Welmu just denied the 3rd base of MC. For me, it kind of looks like Welmu's letting MC back into the game. If Welmu had played this out a bit more aggressive, then it would be so much harder for MC to make a comeback in this game. I mean, MC is still slightly playing from behind, but he's doing an amazing job of catching up. Like, if he's going to get up his 3rd base now, most likely, and then it's going to be a much longer games, because this is the point where neither of the players are willing to attack each other. Because now it's going to be like all about positioning when they're fighting. Yeah. Because they're both going to have a ton of Colossus, a ton of Archons, most likely. I don't think MC has gone for the Twilight. Oh, he has the Twilight Council, but he doesn't have the Archon building yet, which I don't remember the name of. Templar Archives.
Templar Archives. There you go.
Yeah.
Can tell you're not a Protoss player. But no, I mean, that's going to be the big game change, though. The fact that he has Archons, the fact that he has Charge as well, to then close the gap and allow only his Zealots to be purely being hit by the Colossi, as well as the Archons, of course. But the thing is he closes the gap so quickly, and then it makes it really, really difficult for the Colossus to do much. So Welmu's army is still technically leaps and bounds ahead of MC's, but MC is catching up. He's getting the Templar Archives as well as the Dark Shrine.
Welmu's also ahead on upgrades on his units.
Yeah.
It's not that big of an issue because MC is not that far behind. I mean, if Welmu attacks now, they will be even on upgrades. But I'm not sure if he's going to commit to this. This looks like more of a poke. Maybe try to kill the 3rd base or something. At least for me, I wouldn't be comfortable attacking with this army against what MC has. Because MC is going to get the perfect positioning now. He knows that something is coming. Yeah.
The problem in PvP, so sometimes on this 3rd base, is that if you position yourself too close to all of this Nexus area, you're going to get choked up a little bit in this area. So, and we'll see if Welmu can actually force an engagement in a more advantageous position for him. But the Warp Prism's still on the way here for Welmu, and he got Warp Prism speed as well, which is going to make it even harder here for MC to fully deny. Look how many Zealots are warping in.
Hopefully this time MC won't send back everything. Looks like he's just going to defend it one Colossus, and at the same time Welmu is attacking here.
Oh yeah, massive assault here on that 3rd base. That's going to go down so ridiculously fast, and he's going to just pull back from that point on. He's even hallucinated a few Colossus here, has Welmu to try and make this work out, but actually this is not really the best engagement for Welmu, but he's just going to take it anyway. He does a lot of damage in turn. Kills off all of the ground army. The Immortals waddling on forwards and actually tank a lot of damage from those Colossi. They were big game changers there, as the Colossus were not getting the full effective DPS that they would sorely desire. in a situation where MC is down. And there you go, GG for game number 2. Welmu ties up the series. What did I tell you, man? He can certainly upset MC in this PvP.
Yeah, and it was really important that he denied the third base the first time he did it.
Yeah.
So he was just everything that Welmu did in this game was close to perfect, I think. He was always ahead of MC. MC was doing his best to get back, but it wasn't enough.
No, it was not. So third game is going to be on Echelon Wastes. And again, this can really go anyway. There's once again a lot of Blink plays that happen on this map. There's a lot of other little nifty things. Stargate play can sometimes come along. There's a lot of dead space that you have to want to control in that case. But this could really go any way. But I'll say it. I think that Welmu can win this. I really do. I think so. It's a bit rough for MC. And if he's playing from Korea, it's just that extra little bit disadvantage that he does have.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if MC tries for something risky again. Welmu seems to have his way of playing. Like his opening this time was very similar to the last game, except for the fact that he went for a robo, of course. So maybe both of them are going to play safe this game.
Maybe.
You never know.
You know, it's PvP, man. Yeah. You never know.
There might even be proxy gates.
There may be.
Yeah, like Bishu.
Seen that recently?
Yeah.
Seen that. Scary stuff. Can happen. We'll see. As we jump into game number 3 here, guys. Echelon Wastes is our map. So we have MC fighting against Welmu once again. Korea versus Finland. Feeding them happy gas over in Finland. As we do have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner here as our red Protoss. He goes by the name of SKMC. And spawning up to the top left as our blue Protoss, representing Finland and NRS. He goes by the name of Welmu. And no probes have been sent out, so no proxy
No
gates.
proxy gate, sadly.
Ah, what a shame.
Yeah.
All right. So, again, there is a lot of potential for Blink players on this map, but both of these players, Welmu was actually in Challenger, knocked out of the brackets by Slivko, 0-2, whereas MC was knocked out of the brackets by Grubby, no less, 0-2. So Grubby has been a thorn in MC's side in terms of PvP as of late.
Yeah, even in Wings of Liberty. He beat him at IEM Singapore, if I remember correctly.
He did. And people constantly remind me about me tearing up at the end of that series because Grubby's a dear friend.
Oh. I didn't watch it because I was at DreamHack at the same time.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and it's really sad to be at a tournament when there's another big tournament going on. Because, well, I like watching StarCraft. I like watching tournaments.
Yeah.
And it's not like when you're playing in another tournament, then you completely forget about the other tournament that's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, I didn't watch any of the games. Like I really would have liked to see Grubby destroying everything, and then I heard that Sting played some amazing games. He ended up winning.
It was a fantastic tournament, actually. There was a lot of speculation that it wouldn't have been that great because it was clashing with DreamHack and stuff like that, but I thoroughly enjoyed those games and casting that tournament. It was a fantastic experience. I hope I can go back to Singapore again. Have you ever been to Singapore?
No. Oh, I've been to the airport. If that counts.
You've been... Yeah, that counts. We'll go with that.
Yes.
Actually, fully enough, we stayed in the hotel that was in the airport. So
really?
There we go. I think I've seen about as much of Singapore as you have.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but Singapore is not that big.
Yep, that's true. Actually, you know, going into... Because, well, what have we got going on here? We have double gateway from Welmu and then nothing out of the ordinary for MC. So there you go. There's the opening of PvP covered. Going to Singapore, you should go there and you should walk around because the skyline just looks like it's CGI. It's weird. It doesn't look real. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, I watched some travel shows about Singapore. Do you know who Bourdain is? Anthony Bourdain?
No.
Okay, he's an American cook or a chef or something like that. He wrote a book a few years ago. It got really famous, and now he has a traveling show on CNN. And he's he makes the best traveling documentaries, at least. And he made a few good ones about Southeast Asia, like Singapore, Thailand, and so on. And Oh, it makes me really want to go there.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've seen programs that, especially cooking programs, that have made me want to go to places, although I'm not really that exotic with food. But back to this game, we have that Twilight Council here on the way for Welmu. So he has a lot of options. Again, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if he went for Blink. It's a very, very good option on this map. But MC is going to have a 3 gateway play to greet that if he does go for it. So MC should have quite a few units to deal with that.
Yeah, he even has a proxy pylon out on the map. So I think that MC wants to put on some aggression. Now, with the build that Welmu is currently doing, this should be very easy for him to stop. Don't you think so?
For MC, sorry?
No, because, okay, so MC is going to put on some aggression right now.
Yeah.
But Welmu, he has a good idea what MC is doing. He saw that there were 3 gates and no tech. So, okay, that's one thing that actually might fool him. But he already made a robo, so he should be safe against everything. But Welmu is getting Blink, and he already has a couple of Stalkers outside. Or in his base, I mean. And he's also gonna get the Nexus cannon. No, okay, that's actually a long shot. But he should have enough units.
Yeah.
To stop this.
He should. And the thing is it's right. To what you're saying, basically, they're going to have very, very similar amounts, but Welmu is going to have eventually Blink and also that Nexus cannon, which is really, really quite annoying for him. Time Warp does go down, though, and Welmu, I think, got the better end of the trade there to kick things off. He got the better volley earlier on, but MC now reinforcing with 3 Stalkers. If Welmu loses all of these Stalkers, then, oh, he might lose that Mothership Core as well. Yes, he does.
Oh, that's a very big deal. I think he's going to be forced to pull probes eventually.
Yeah.
Like, his Blink is about to be done, so I'm not sure how he should engage this, actually. Oh, and he's going to lose that gateway. Okay,
yeah.
that's a big thing.
That's massive. Losing that gateway in its entirety, not being able to deny that is huge. And now with that, he could even supply block him here. This pylon is very, very vulnerable. Yes, he does end up supply blocking him. And that is big. Welmu is going to have a really hard time doing this. The one thing he now has, though, is Blink. And he can use that defensively to try and do as best he can, microing back with this and doing a pretty good job retaining some of his Stalkers. But at the same time, MC has actually set himself up a pylon in Welmu's base as well, trying to reinforce as best he can do. And, oh, God, it's so close. Even with defensive Blink, it's not going to be enough. He has to pull the probes.
Yeah, but Welmu did this really well. He was blinking perfectly. And now he even warped in a few sellouts. This should be enough to push MC back. And if Welmu starts offensively blinking, he should be able to kill all the Stalkers.
He's picking off probe by probe by probe, though. 10 workers have already gone down. 11, 12, and 13. Even Zealots warping in right next to these Stalkers to try and continually pursue them. 2 of those Stalkers are so weak, but Welmu is trying to gain the numbers he can do. His economy has been really hurt behind this, though.
Yeah, but Welmu, he's retaining his units. None of them are dying at the moment, and that's pretty good. So now MC stopped his aggression, and he's getting up the Robotech. He's also warping in a sentry at home, so he's afraid of a counterattack. Now Welmu needs to find every pylon and then start his probe production. Like he needs to chrono out a few probes.
I think he's just going to go, though. It's at the point now where he loses that many probes, so he just wants to get over there as quickly as possible. He got out that observer as fast as he could so that he can try and blink forwards. But the thing is that MC in response got the robo facility, knowing that that counter attack was going to come. He wants to chrono out his immortals as well. MC.
Yeah, he's going to have an immortal out in time for this.
Yeah, he should do.
And now he should force field off the ramp. Or not?
Well, I think he knows that Blink's there, so any force fields right now are not going to really do a whole lot.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. So he throws down the Guardian Shield anyway. But Welmu has still been at this kind of odd supply position for a while. Where are you going to go? He actually blinks forwards there, trying to pick off what he can.
He's doing some damage to the units, but he's not killing them.
Yeah.
That's like the most important thing. MC now has an immortal out, and this should be enough to stop Welmu's aggression.
He's going to try his best. Welmu, though, does have a lot of Stalkers, so he will push him for now. And, does lose that Mothership Core once again. Good Time Warp, even. Will try and hold the ramp for a little bit. But I think ideally he would have liked that for maybe Photon Overcharge if his opponent would have been able to breach the main. But still, this is a good use of it. Yeah.
Welmu's now having like a small contain. I don't think he can be here too long. He also made a Nexus now, and he caught up on probes, which is a good thing for him at least. They're also on. He's also ahead on tech, but He's behind on Army.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be hard for him to defend. If MC decides to just attack now, it might be hard for Welmu to stop it.
I think the thing is that Welmu now needs to be paying attention to this ramp. He lets everything down without that sentry actually force fielding things off.
Yeah, and do you know why? There are 3 zealots in Welmu's main base. That's why he wasn't paying attention.
Great distraction tactics there from MC. What a fantastic move to really break out of that and probably go for the aggression behind this. He's trying to catch those Stalkers, but he doesn't in the end. Those 2 Immortals are enough to really, really hinder the progress of that. Scary stuff.
Yeah, now Welmu needs to delay this push, but the push is already so strong for MC, and he's almost in Welmu's natural base now. So I'm not sure what Welmu can actually do. It looks like he wants to go for a counterattack, maybe kill all the pylons, and then just constantly force field MC out of his base. That might be the best option. But still, Welmu needs more sentries at least if he wants to constantly force field this.
Yeah, he's trying as best he can do. He throws down another one to try and hold those off, but at the same time, the Stalkers applying some pressure in the main. He has been allowed up into his opponent's main, though, and now with a few more pylons going down here for Welmu, I don't think it's going to be enough. This is a great move here by MC. He's played this fantastically. The distraction tactics along with the aggression to kick everything off as well. Fantastic play here from MKSC, I don't know.
Yeah, and now Welmu has the Nexus Cannon out, but he didn't do enough damage with his Stalkers. He still has 3 Stalkers alive, and he goes for a DT Shrine.
Yeah.
But he should know that his opponent has an Observer.
Yeah.
Well, at least now he knows, because now he's going to spot it. Or he's not going to spot it, but he can see it moving if he pays attention.
And actually, the Observer is just barely out of range of the Dark Shrine. But it doesn't really matter in the end anyway, I don't think here. MC is just going to sit above this entire base, wait for that Photon Overcharge to dissipate on this Nexus, and then once that is gone, he can push in and do all the damage he wants to do. There are still those Stalkers being annoying, but the Photon Overcharge did go down, and we'll push those away from the main. And he's just going to focus down the Nexus. Oh, great force field as well. Bottles all of those units.
That was an insane force field.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, you can't escape, and your Nexus is going to die before all... Oh, and he even throws down again.
Now he let some units out. MC was being nice.
Well, that means MC proved me wrong. God damn it.
Yeah, I thought that Welmu would have no trouble at all holding the first push. But MC controlled his units really well. And Welmu did some minor mistakes. He also lost the gateway. I'm not sure if it mattered too much in holding the units, because he was barely able to afford warping in 2 units at a time.
Yeah, tough stuff there for that 3rd game. But now that means we have Nurchio versus MC on the way very soon. And then after that, we'll be going to Welmu versus Hydra. So we'll be back in just a little bit, guys, to find out who will advance on to Premier. Will it be Nurchio or will it be MC? We'll find out in just a bit.